Let's go to Charlotte for more on this.
Well, this morning's report found that Camp Bastion, the main field hospital in Afghanistan, is already operating close to capacity. In 2008, it treated 131 patients, but in the first 10 months of 2009 alone, it treated 300. Well, it did this despite a large cut in the number of doctors. They're down from 10 for every 1,000 patients in 2006 to 4 in 2009. Now, here in Britain, Selly Oak Hospital in Birmingham, which treats seriously injured troops, and the Headley Court Rehabilitation Centre in Surrey, they both saw admissions increase significantly from 573 people in 2008 to 912 in 2009. To cope with this extra strain, the government's planning to create an extra 30 beds at Headley Court. But the National Audit Office says the Ministry of Defence and the Department of Health still need to do more, and they'll have to plan for a large increase in casualties expected from the intensified fight against the Taliban.
Let's get a rundown of what else is happening news-wise, then I'll have the front pages of the papers after this from Charlotte. Morning.
Thanks, Eamon. The High Court could this afternoon rule to end Portsmouth Football Club 112 years after it began by granting a winding-up order. The club's amassed large sums of debt, and with it even struggling to pay its players, it's not known if it'll be able to stave off liquidation. Enda Brady has more.
OK, thanks for the news rundown, Charlotte. All your comments directed to Charlotte at Sky Charlotte on the tweet pages, or me at Eamon Holmes, because we were talking about that story about how long it takes you to get ready in the morning. Women, 79 minutes, no surprise there. Men, 83 minutes.
Yeah, unbelievably.
What are they doing, Charlotte?
Well, who knows? Sitting and having a cup of coffee by the sounds of it. So.
What are you doing? Please do let us know this morning. Charles Bladen, he says he takes sufficient for you.
Let's keep going.
Let's have a look. Let's get the background on this now from Charlotte.
Well, Camp Bastion, the main field hospital in Afghanistan, is already operating close to capacity. In 2008, it treated 131 patients, but in the first 10 months of 2009 alone, it treated 300. Now, it did this despite a large cut in the number of doctors. They're down from 10 for every 1,000 members of the military in 2006 to 4 in 2009. Now, here in Britain, the Selly Oak Hospital in Birmingham, which treats seriously injured troops, and the Headley Court Rehabilitation Centre in Surrey, they both saw admissions almost double, from 573 people in 2008 right up to 912 in 2009. And to cope with the extra strain, the government's planning to increase the number of beds at Headley Court by almost 50%. But the National Audit Office says the Ministry of Defence and the Department of Health still need to do more, and they'll have to have a plan for a large increase in casualties that's expected from the intensified fight against the Taliban.
We want your views, we want your comments coming in on that. Lots of views and comments from Mehdi Hassan. He's got the newspapers, and amongst the things he's going to be talking about is how much TV we watch in Britain, and your biggest hate of all is?
Poncy food.
Poncy food. OK, going to be talking about that after Charlotte with a rundown of what else is happening.
Thanks, Eamon. The High Court could this afternoon rule to end Portsmouth Football Club 112 years after it began by granting a winding-up order. You never know what those videos on YouTube will lead to, you see.
Why, have you got any
there?
No,
I'm just saying. That did sound a bit bizarre, didn't it? But it's nice. People in their own home can put a little video and next minute, superstardom.
Is that how you got your gig
Well,
here?
you know, me reading the news.
Yeah. Good to see Mehdi Hassan. Mehdi is the political editor at the New Statesman, and we've got so much to talk about here in the newspapers this morning, and I think it'll get you talking as well. And the first thing is, we're talking about...
I am outraged. That is terrible. This chef here just won a Michelin star. He was so proud of it, and then the owner turned around and said, I'm sorry, you're going to have to do burger and chips.
Hold on, we're just talking about a recession. The restaurant was half full on Saturday night, struggling to find customers during the week. It's all very well indulging his posh habits, but if it doesn't bring in any money and people don't want to eat it, well, what happened to consumer choice?
Just that story about how long it takes you to get ready in the morning. Now, Wolfman, if you were a Wolfman, it would take a while, wouldn't it?
I reckon that would have taken about 6 hours.
There'd be a lot of facial hair to deal with there.
You'd be getting up very, very early.
You would.
Don't make a joke about
OK. Here comes the sport. Brad tells me, he's tweeted me this morning, we're talking about how long it takes you to get ready, story in the papers. women 79 minutes, men 83 minutes in the morning. But Brad tells me it's all your fault, Charlotte.
It's my fault.
He takes so long to get out in the morning. He says, because once I see Charlotte Hawkins on my TV, I stay glued to my sofa and I lose all track of time.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brad.
Yes, he's probably due back in some institution very, very shortly. But thank you very much indeed. We'll take a break. We're going to come back to this in about 10 minutes' time because we've got Simon Weston, the Falklands War veteran, with his views on all of this. I know he feels very, very strongly on this. If you do, Twitter is @SkyCharlotte, @EamonHolmes. The email is news@sky.com. What else is happening, Charlotte?
Thanks, Eamon. Well, the High Court could this afternoon rule to end Portsmouth Football Club 112 years after it began by granting a winding-up order. The club has amassed large sums of debt, and with it even struggling to pay its players, it's not known if it'll be able to stave off liquidation. And they're not alone. Cardiff City and Southend United will also find out today if winding-up orders will be granted for them. Our reporter, Andy Brady, is at the High...
Want to talk more on the front pages of papers? Let's do those first of all. Right, first up... Simon Weston speaking to me from his home just 15 minutes ago. If you've got a Toyota, we'll tell you what to do with it. After Charlotte with a run on what else is happening.
Thanks, Eamon. The High Court could this afternoon rule to end Portsmouth Football Club 112 years after it began by granting a winding-up order. The club's amassed large sums of debts, and with it even struggling to pay its players. Well, Honda has had to recall over 430,000 of its cars due to faults with airbags. Company officials said the airbag produces too much pressure.
Well done, Rebecca. Very nice.
Good for her.
Good for her. Very good for her. Reg Presley, a founder member of the Trogs, joins us now in the studio. How wild are you still, Reg?
I would like to say very, but I think it's mild thing now. Yeah. I try to be wild on stage, and I'm probably...
I mean, you are a pensioner. You're approaching 70 years of age. And the audience out there, are they the same age, or does that change, the audience? With the Pull of the Tremolos, Mike Pender, Dave Berry, concerts when she was a young girl. She
you
used
weren't
to
that
go.
girl down front screaming in that dotted dress, were
No,
you?
it wasn't me. I've only just got a Beatles album, first one ever. I wanted to ask you how you get through a show like that, because, as Eamon said, you're getting on a bit, and you must try and put the same energy into it as you did when you were in the 60s, and that must be really quite hard.
No, it becomes normal, strangely enough. I was lucky because I started out life as a bricklayer. That's a nasty one. No. Yeah, and so, you know, I have kept pretty fit, I think.
But your talent hasn't only been laying bricks and singing.
First heard it, I spit my tea all over the room because it came on, and all of a sudden they were doing real chords and that, and I thought, oh, what? As soon as he opened his mouth and started singing, I went, yes.
But the amazing thing is, you took a lot of your royalties from that, a lot of the money you earned from that, and you have this fascination with crop circles, and you research crop circles.
And they always fly in a V formation.
Yes.
They went like that.
And went away like
no,
a diviner.
Went
Right
right
around, tour with the Trogs, and thank you so much
But
for
don't
coming
forget
in.
that album's out on the 1st of